At Trinity Health System, we have a profound respect and awe for all creation. We are motivated by the words of Christ to be his hands and heart to those in need. Our doctors, nurses, and staff are driven by selfless performance, combining our expertise with the technology to bridge the gap to healthier communities. Healthcare isn't just about healing, it's about human dignity. Trinity Health System, inspired by faith, serving you with distinction.
Hey, welcome to week 11, 12, what is it? 11 of high school football. I'm here with all my friends. Hi, Mike. Hey, how we doing? Okay, before we start the high school, I got a mini rant because I just read a little Associated Press article that says the Big Ten will play 6 Friday night games a year starting in 2017. Hey, Big Ten, Friday nights for high school. High school. What will happen when the Buckeyes play on Friday night? Seriously. At least Penn State spokesman Jeff Nelson, noting the importance of a high school football across the state, said his school would agree only to an occasional home game on the Friday following Thanksgiving. Penn State Athletic Director Sandy Barber said, quote, significant operational issues make Friday night football in Happy Valley a no-go. Barber pointed out that the fans generally travel more than an hour to get to the stadium. She also said shutting down the school on a Friday was not an option. Illinois spokesman Kent Brown said Coach Lovie Smith in the football office emailed high school football coaches in the state explaining the situation. There is no sacred day of the week for any sports events anymore, Brown said, noting a lot of high schools play on Saturdays. You morons. It's Friday night's high school football. I know that sometimes they play Saturday because some teams don't have lights, Bel Air being one of them, and they're probably never going to get lights, so Nelson Field's going to play. They're going to play Saturday afternoon football till, I'm long gone and full of dust. God, it's all about the almighty dollar. And wait, the best line here from Ohio Athletic Director Gene Smith said, even though his school agreed to host Friday night games on a limited basis, the Big Ten's move was necessary. Ready for this? To increase exposure. So Gene Smith says there's not enough college football exposure. We avoided it for years, Smith said. We thought we could do it in a limited way, which is why we established some parameters around it. Oh, more exposure for college football. Yay. I remember in 2006 when Ohio State, Michigan got moved to prime time, and every high school football playoff game that day got moved to noon. You know why it got moved to noon? Because there was nobody who's going to work a Saturday night high school football playoff game while the Buckeyes and Michigan Wolverines were playing as the number 1 and 2 teams in the nation. Because Big Red played Dover that year at Canton Fossa Stadium, and it was brilliant, but it got played at noon because the rest of the state shut down that evening. Okay, rant over. We have high school football playoffs in the state of Ohio. State of West Virginia has one more week of regular season. Weirton Madonna will play host to Clay Battelle. Clay Battelle is number 16th in the state in West Virginia Class A. Weirton Madonna is 1-8, coming off a tough loss to Toronto. The Blue Dons will be looking to play spoiler. If they can beat the Seabees, there's a really good chance Clay Battelle will miss the playoffs. So Madonna has a lot to play for. Send their 5 seniors out with the dub. 5 seniors being, let's see if I can think of them off the top of my alleged noggin. Dustin Brown, Phil Good, Jake Gasvoda, Justin Kanai, and Tavon Jeter. 5. Yes, I can count to 5. Well done. So 7 o'clock Friday night, Jimmy Carey Stadium. Good luck to the Dons as they finish their season under first-year coach Darren Hicks. I remember when Coach Kendrick called me and said we just hit a home run with who we hired, and that hire is Darren Hicks, and he wasn't kidding. Just give the man time. That football program will be back up top here really soon. And those of you, I'll be nice. All right, Friday night at Harding Stadium, 7:30 Friday night during high school football season on Friday evening games. 7:30 Indian Creek at Steubenville Big Red. Second year in a row, the teams will play each other at Harding. Last year was an 8-1 matchup. This year, 7-2. Big Red's 9-1, Creek's 8-2. All three of their combined losses were to playoff teams. Big Red lost to St. Vincent St. Mary, who gets Dover in the first round of the playoffs. Indian Creek lost to Cambridge and South Range. Cambridge week 1, South Range week 9. Sumo Big Red will face an offense that runs the ball 74.6% of the time. And so you would expect Big Red to play 9 in the box, go after Greg Wade as hard as they can, and see what Indian Creek can counter with. Big Red they run 56% of the time, so they're a little more balanced offensively than Indian Creek is. Big Red's coming off a state semifinal, a state championship runner-up appearance to Columbus Bishop Hartley. I think that I think that's their 4th straight regional or state semifinal, I believe, if my alleged simple pathetic math is correct. So that will tee it up 7:30 Friday night, Harding Stadium. Big Red Creek. This is Big Red's 16th straight playoff appearance. Started in 2001. By the way, that was the year that I moved to this area, so you can thank me. Yes, thank you very much. And Indian Creek is now 59-21 in the last 8 regular seasons. So those of you who don't like Andrew Connor, shut up. Just seriously stop. 59-21 in the last 8 years. They are now a team that expects to play late, that expects to play important football late October, early November, and they're there again 2 years in a row, 4 of the last 6. And I believe since 2009 he hasn't finished below 10th in the regional standings. So just support the team. Just really seriously go support the team. And if you don't want to support if you want to be, never mind. I'll be a good boy. I'm trying to be a really good boy here. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me sometimes. Really, really hard, especially when I hear the crap that's said on Friday night football games, when I'm the one standing on the sidelines and listening to coaches talk to coaches, and coaches talk to kids, and kids talk to kids, and I hear just some goofball okay. So here's our football lecture. Comes out today, and Big Red Creek, page 1. Page 2 is Toronto. We'll talk about this game in a minute. Toronto, Warren, JFK. We're high. We'll await to see their fate as they have finished their season. Week 11 is a bye week, and there's according to Coach Roberto, 16 games across the state Friday that will impact where We're High finishes in the standings. Could be anywhere from 11th to 14th. So that's where who knows where that is. In the long run, they will play on the road. There's a good chance it'll be Saturday afternoon. Coach Roberto likes Saturday afternoon football. I love Saturday afternoon playoff football. And so we'll go from there. So they're just kind of sit and wait, and they'll get ready for what they will have week 12. Toronto is in the playoffs for the 3rd straight year. That's the 2nd time in school history Toronto's made the playoffs 3 consecutive years. They will head to Warren JFK, a familiar opponent. They played them last year. Played the Eagles last year. It was a 40-6 win by Warren JFK. Coach Meek told me that since the start of the 2014 season, his team has come out and played very physical and played very hard in every game except that one last year. He said, we just kind of didn't come off the bus. He said, I reminded my kids of that, and we'll see what happens this Saturday night, 7 o'clock, Mollenkoff Stadium, Warren Harding High School, 7 o'clock. Toronto, who finished 6th in Division 7, Region 25, they will take on Warren JFK, who spent the majority of the year at number 1 in the state before they lost late to Cleveland via Angela Joseph something them. Yeah. And JFK finished their season with a huge overtime win over rival Louisville St. Thomas Aquinas. And should be a good game. I think Toronto knows what to expect from them. I think being familiar with each other will help Toronto a little bit. The Coates kid who pretty much terrorized Toronto last year with I think it was a pick 6, a punt return for a touchdown, and a reception for a touchdown. He just came back last week after missing 7 weeks with a broken collarbone, so that doesn't make Coach Meek happy. That just makes Warren JFK that much better. They have the Boyd kid in the background. The number 4 is a quarterback. Coach Meek said anybody's had a hard time being driving the ball methodically on JFK because they're so quick defensively. So she's going to be a nice chess match Saturday night at Mollenkoff Stadium once again, 7 o'clock kickoff, and we'll see what happens. Toronto's led by Max Tice, Danny, let me try that in English. I got to get hooked on phonics. Danny Zdenek, who feels like he's been at Toronto for like 8 years. Those two lead the running game. Nate Carafa is throwing the ball. His two favorite targets are Jake Keenan and Ty West. So that's pretty much in a nutshell. Toronto's averaging 44 a game, and their defense will be tested Saturday night against JFK. Once again, Steubenville Big Red will pull the trigger against Indian Creek Friday night, 7:30, Harding Stadium. In the state of Ohio, you get one home game, then everything else will be at a neutral site. And so it's a great atmosphere. It's fun to play. It's fun to, it's great for me to be on the sidelines and, watch kind of both teams go at it. I'm a big fan of them playing each other. I know some people don't like it. Look, it is what it is, and your goal is to make the playoffs. And now Creek's eventual goal, now they made the playoffs for the last 6 years, is to win a playoff game, and Coach Connor knows it. And they will give every ounce of energy they have to pull off a win Friday night against Steubenville Big Red. Obviously a tall task, considering Big Red, I think, is just really good every year in, year out. You don't make the 16 straight playoffs on accident, under no circumstances that happen. So our boy Peasley just got done watching the Cubbies win the World Series. So he's in Cleveland, or he was in Cleveland, probably eating food and tweeting. Probably more eating food than tweeting. Knowing our boy Peasley, he can sack away food, man. It's amazing. Seriously amazing. He will be at the Big Red Creek game. He and I both. I will be at Toronto Warren JFK Saturday night, watching some good high school playoff football. And once again, Weir awaits their fate after they see what happens to the other 16 games. Congratulations to everyone else who finished their seasons. Brooke High, I had the pleasure of doing a little story on Chris Giacchini. Talk about how his mom passed away on their first home game of the season back in first Friday in September. And then he has a 92-yard touchdown run on senior night to lead the Brooke Bruins over Weir High. And I just want to thank Chris I know that can't be easy talking about your mom. So just want to thank you for that. And I just want to thank all my friends for being here, all one of them. It's more than I had at this time last week. So I'm pretty much... I got to get my son up here to do this. No? We're good? Yeah. You sure about that?
Good show.
You don't want my son up here
good show.
Being John Cena and Spider-Man? And no?
Show.
You good with that?
Show. We're good.
All right. See you next week, if I'm lucky.